to the Waveshow. Today I'm joined by women's volleyball student athlete Shannon Scully, who's back at home in Huntington Beach, California. Hey Shannon, how's it going? Can you let us know how quarantine's been, how school's going now that that's kicked off, and the latest volleyball update that you can provide for us?
Hi, it's so good to be on here. I'm doing really well. I'm at home with my family right now, just working out and doing classes on Zoom. But school's been going really well. It's been kind of a lot being on the computer all day, but it's going well.
How excited are you to be back with your teammates, see your coaches, and just get back to normal everyday life?
Oh, I'm so excited. I feel like as a team, we've been waiting for this since we left back in March, but let alone July when we were planning on coming back. But I'm excited just to see all the girls and get to compete again and just be back together. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Now, during this part of the year, you guys would already have started your guys' season. What's it been like for you knowing that you're getting started a little bit later now into volleyball, school just started? How have you been adjusting and going through this adversity as a Pepperdine student volleyball player?
I mean, it was a bummer, honestly. I was really looking forward to my senior year, getting to be with Allie and Taylor, all going to our senior year together. And then once we kind of had setback after setback, it was kind of, an uphill battle. Just being hopeful for, whatever happens in the spring, but just getting to train together in the fall, I think will bring us all back together, and it will, help us just to get back in that team aspect before we start everything again in the spring.
I want to ask you about your journey as a volleyball player. You were playing outside hitter over at Mater Dei in high school. You also played some club with some of your Pepperdine teammates, Rosie, Lily, and Rachel. Walk us through that journey and how you ended up at Pepperdine. I know you started over at Utah.
Yeah, so I went to Mater Dei all 4 years, loved it. It was awesome. And then I played volleyball at T Street from when I was 15 until when I was 18. So me and Rachel played together my 15s year. And then I played with Lily and Rosie after that, 16s, 17s, and 18s. But all of those teams were super successful. So it was really cool once we all got to Pepperdine and got the opportunity to play together again. But I came to Pepperdine after my freshman year. I went to the University of Utah and then ended up transferring to Pepperdine to be closer to home. So I'm really happy with my decision though.
Awesome. And talk about that. When you got to Pepperdine, how much happier were you knowing that you were just a quick drive away from your family? They could come to your matches and you were back home in the awesome state of California.
Yeah, that was honestly a huge impact on it. After my freshman season at Utah, I was, it was super successful, but I just wasn't as happy as I was expecting to be. And so I was looking to transfer, and instantly I was well, if I'm transferring, I want to go back to California to have my family at the games, be closer to my brother and sister who are at LMU, and, just being back in the California atmosphere, obviously living in Malibu, just is so beautiful. It all worked out and I couldn't be happier.
As a state of California, volleyball is a huge sport that many athletes only dream of playing collegiately. Was Pepperdine on your radar? I know you started at Utah, but was it a program that you were familiar with and you're I want to be there maybe?
Yeah, I looked actually at Pepperdine when I started my recruiting process in sophomore year of high school. And then it just kind of worked out with position wise, who they needed and where other schools needed. So it wasn't one of my top choices at the end, but I was still very interested. And then when I was transferring, I was oh, Pepperdine's my dream school. I definitely want to go there, and got in contact with Scott and the coaching staff. And I just love the school size also, just having it be a smaller school. I just really like that.
Going off of your head coach, Scott Wong, I emailed him the other day and he had spoken of you so highly. How happy are you to be coached under Scott, and what's he like as a coach?
Yeah, I love him. It's so funny. I went up to Malibu a couple weeks ago and I went and played pickleball with the coaching staff. And it was just so nice to reconnect with them because I hadn't been seen anyone in 6 months. But yeah, I love playing for him. Super laid back guy. Just really nice to have as a coach, but also a friend. I feel I go visit him in his office almost every day just to talk and check in and, just like see how everyone is doing. But I love him. He's definitely very supportive, would never scream and yell at us, which I really like, just being in that positive environment. But overall, great guy, and I've loved playing for him.
I want to dive into some of your personal life. You come from a rather large family, 2 brothers and a sister at LMU, but we're not going to talk about the Lions. What's the family dynamic amongst you guys? I'm assuming you guys were all home at some point during this quarantine.
Yeah, we're all actually still home. But yeah, my older brother graduated from LMU in 2018, so he's just been working at home, just with all the circumstances. And then my sister just graduated in May. So she's now living at home also. And then my younger brother is a senior at Mater Dei. But both my brothers played volleyball. My sister never did. But yeah, it's been super nice just having family time. I'm super close with my family. So I feel like during this time, we've been trying to find like little things to do together. But it's been super nice.
I want to go off that. I talked to one of your teammates and she mentioned that you are very close with your family. You enjoy sunset dips at night. And you recently went skydiving. Can you tell us any stories during this quarantine, and most specifically skydiving? I mean, that's pretty insane.
Yeah, I've done a couple of things. I went to like Catalina for the first time. I went there twice. I love the beach. I've been, spending time tanning and going for sunset swims. But yeah, so most recently I went skydiving. It was my brother's 18th birthday. And he really wanted to go. And then originally school was going to be starting. So I was like, oh, I'm going to be in quarantine. Once I get back, I have to be tested. I'm not going to be able to go. And then once it got postponed, once season got canceled, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go with you. Like, that'd be so fun. So me and my little brother went in Oceanside. But it was beautiful. I highly recommend it. And it's honestly not as scary as everyone makes it seem, unless you're scared of heights. But it was super fun.
I want to touch briefly on what some of the teammates have said about you. Just a few things they've mentioned to me is that you like to stay organized. Clean sheets, a room, a car, really organized person Shannon is. Is this something that you enjoy, and can you maybe touch on that?
It is something I enjoy. I just feel like I always like have my room super clean, like everything super clean, but I feel like it just helps me like stay less stressed, and like just being organized really helps me. And like if I'm in a rush, like it's easier to find things, or if I'm like going to practice and I have a bad practice, like at least I come back in my like clean car for a drive home and like come back to like a made bed. Like I don't know what it is, but I just feel like it really helps me in like a weird way.
I am totally on board with that, because I think if you feel good and you look good, like everything kind of follows suit. So having a clean car, you get home, your bed's made. I understand. I'm the same way. As a student athlete, a lot of people you see you guys, sweating and practice in your uniform, but you're also a girly girl. What are some of the girly things you like to treat yourself with or buy?
I would say my favorite thing is probably getting my nails done. I don't know why. I like always have them done like light pink or white. Just like it helps me. I feel like with volleyball too, like you're always using your hands or like hitting the ball or whatever it is, and like I don't know, I just really like having my nails done. So I would say that's my favorite thing.
It's all about looking good and then feeling good. So I get
Look
that.
good, feel good, play good.
Back to volleyball, what's it been like amongst your team these last couple of months? I'm sure you guys were in contact, whether that was Zoom, emails, and I know your heart probably hurts right now knowing that your season isn't starting right now like it should.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so right when we left in March, we kind of all decided to do like team workouts together once a week on Zoom. So we were, working out together, and then we read a team book together, and then we have like weekly Zoom calls with the coaches just to stay in contact, any updates, that type of thing. But we're all like ready to be back, honestly. It's been way too long, and, we're all best friends like on and off the court. So I think that that's super unique about our program also. But yeah, it's been hard to stay in touch just without seeing each other. But I think that obviously we're so close. Right when we get back, it's going to be like nothing changed.
And Shannon, my final question for you is, what do you hope to take away from the remainder of 2020 as we look ahead with hopefully, as much positivity as we can see for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, I think just something hopefully good is going to come out of this, whole process. It's been 6 months, which is just way too long. But I feel like it's been nice looking back, just having so much quality family time. And then hopefully in the future, I'm just looking forward to like senior year and being back together, and just, super, super hopeful, I guess.
Waves. Meal prepping has become a popular way to stay on track with your nutrition goals. Enjoy fresh, delicious, and affordable healthy food made just for you. Visit eatnakedla.com to get started today.